So yeah, guys, I was asking you guys what is peering, right? So just tell me what is peering. David, tell me. Two VPCs, right? So this is VPC A, you guys can see, no? And this is VPC B. So now by default, one VPC cannot talk to another VPC, right? Why one VPC cannot talk to another VPC? This is VPC A and this is VPC B, right? So by default, one VPC cannot talk to another VPC. Why? This VPC cannot talk to this VPC by default. Why? Wasim, ಯಾಕೆ ಒಂದು VPC ಇನ್ನೊಂದು VPC ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ? What is the reason? So by default, like VPCs are isolated networks, right? Isolated means it has its own route tables, its own internet gateways, everything. So by default, one VPC cannot talk to other VPC because it is an isolated network, right? So if one VPC want to talk to another VPC, we have to establish peering connection. So we did peering also, guys, remember? So we did peering between VPC A and VPC B. How? This VPC A is a what? Requester. This is a requester, and VPC B is a acceptor, right? So like once this VPC A is sending a request, VPC B should accept the request, then the peering connection will be established. You guys did the lab for this or no? Gopika, you did lab? Did you get or no? Not peering. I did last week. You did for sure. Okay, fine. So we did this peering. So this was a concept. Now, in peering, we like there should not be the overlap of CIDRs. So here having 10 dot network and here also 10 dot network. What will happen? It will overlap. So we should not have the overlapping, right? This is in case of VPC peering. Okay. Now I'll take one more VPC. I'll take one more VPC. Other two VPCs. So now these four VPCs want to talk to each other, or we'll take only three VPCs. The three VPCs want to talk to each other. Now I'll take VPC. This is VPC B. VPC B. Can VPC A, B, C, sorry, C, can talk to each other at a time? No. Why? In peering, it is not possible. In peering, we can establish connection between only two VPCs, VPC A and VPC B. So we have other concept like transit gateways. Okay, in transit gateways, if you want to enable the communication between more than two VPCs, we can use transit gateways. Okay, so transit gateways acts as a hubs. I'll just okay. We'll go to VPC. In VPC, we can see down. We have something like transit gateways. Okay, so we have transit gateway attachments, transit gateway route tables. Okay, we'll go to transit gateway. So this is transit gateway. What is transit gateway? I'll just so this transit gateway is a network transit hub that can use to interconnect your virtual VPCs on and on-premise networks. So it can connect more than two VPCs, and it is like a hub. It can connect to different VPCs. Okay, and the global infrastructure, your data is automatically encrypted and never travels over the public internet. It is encrypted and it will not travel through the public internet. Okay, and in transit gateway we have concepts like attachments. What is attachment? Like when I'm creating transit gateway, one transit gateway I have to attach to multiple VPCs. So here we can attach to one or more VPCs in attachments, and we can connect to SD-WANs and third-party network appliance also. And we can use AWS Direct Connect Gateway and peering connection with another transit gateway. In normal peering connection, we can connect only to two VPCs. But coming to this peering connection with another transit gateway, we can connect more than two VPCs. Okay. So we have something like transit gateway route table. So, but a transit gateway has a default route table. So once you create transit gateway and you create transit gateway attachments, automatically route table will get created. You no need of going and routing anything there. So this transit gateway has a default route table and can optionally have additional routes. And a route table includes dynamic and static routes that decide the next stop based on destination IP address of the packet. The target of these routes could be transit gateway attachment. By default, transit gateway attachments are associated with default gateway route table. If we go attach, it will by default it will attach automatically to the route table. So we have something like association. First you create transit gateway, then we are going to do what? So we have transit gateways, then we are going to do attachment. Okay. So we have here something like association. Each attachment is associated with exactly only one route table. So I'll create transit gateway attachment. One attachment will be associated only with one route table. Okay. Each route table can be associated with 0 to many attachments. And we have route propagation also and how to create transit gateways. I'll just show the thing. So you can refer the documentation. If you want to much know about everything, you can refer these things. So I'll go to transit gateway. So, okay. Now we will take a scenario like, so now I'll create three VPCs. VPC A, VPC, VPC A, B, C, and I'll create three subnets, three route tables. By default, it will get created, and three internet gateways. And I'll launch three instances. All the three should talk to each other. Okay, that is the scenario. So now I'll go to VPC. Okay, now I'll create a VPC. I'll create VPC 1 and I'll create 10.1.0.0/16. I'll create VPC and go to VPC and create one more VPC, that is VPC B or VPC 2. So 10.2.0.0/16. So I'll create VPC 3, create VPC, and I'll create VPC 3. So this is 10.3.0.0/16. Now three VPCs is created. Now I'll create three subnets. So one is VPC 1. This is VPC 1 subnet, and I'll choose 10.1.0.0/24. I'll create subnet and I'll create a subnet VPC 2 10.2.0.0/16. Again VPC 3. VPC 3. This will be 10.3.0.0/24. So now I created three subnets. By default, main route tables will be created once we created a VPC, right? So here we can see VPC1. So this is VPC1. So I'll name as VPC1. So now I'll create VPC2. So this is 2. This is VPC2. Okay, again VPC3 is here. So this is VPC3. VPC3. Okay, 3 VPCs by default, the main route. So once we created VPC, by default, main route tables got created. So now I'll create 3 internet gateways. So for VPC1, maximum number of internet has already reached. Okay, fine. So by default, how many internet gateways we can create? 5, right? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is already created. Now I'll go create. It will not get created. See, the maximum number of internet gateways already reached. So by default, how many VPCs we can create? Subnets. I'll take this as VPC1. I'll just rename this, and I'll rename this as VPC2, and go to this, and I'll rename that as VPC3. Okay, so I'll go to VPC1, go to actions, attach to a VPC, that is VPC1. Go to VPC2, actions, attach to VPC2. Then go to VPC3, actions, attach to VPC, that is VPC3. So now done. So now I'll launch 3 instances. One for VPCA, VPCB and VPCC. I'll go to instance, launch instance. So I'll create first as VPCA. So I'll create key pair. So I'll go to this. So VPC required VPCs first is VPCA and subnet is VPC1, and I'll enable. I'm taking all as public. Launch instance. And your security groups, I will just give all traffic only. Edit inbound. Give all traffic anywhere. And go to instance. Again, I'll launch instance. VPC B. Key pair is already existing. edit VPC 2, and we subnet is VPC 2, and I'll enable, and I'll mention all traffic and launch instance. Again, I'll go to instance, launch for more VPC. VPC 3. VPC network settings will give VPC 3. VPC 3 auto assign public enable, and will give all traffic, come down, launch instance. Now this VPC A can talk to VPC B. Can they talk now? Can we connect that? Huh? So they cannot talk, right? This instance can VPC A can talk to B, and B can talk to C. Can or no? Can talk or no? They can communicate. How? Gopika, can they communicate? They can or they can't. They can't communicate. Why? Yeah, before we used to do peering for two, like if they want to communicate, we used to do peering. But it is three networks. If it is more than two, we can do a transit gateways. I told we have not done any transit gateways. So we'll go to VPC. We'll go to VPC. We'll go to transit gateway. We'll create transit gateway. So I'll just give transit gateway, and description is like so you can give AS number. Yeah, we can give any range, the range, or I'll give this control C, come back and paste, come down, optional. So I'm going to create a transit gateway. So you can see here. Okay, we have created a transit gateway. So this is still in pending. We'll go to instance. So now I'll have VPC. I'll try to connect. So it is not connecting. Why? Because I have not given route in the route table, right? Go to subnet, like route table. I'll go to VPCA, go to routes. See route, there is no route. I have not given route. How then it will connect? So I'll add route, all traffic, internet gateway, and save changes. And go to subnet association, edit subnet association, VPC1, I have associated. Again, I'll go to route table. I'll go to VPC to routes, edit routes, add route. I will give 0, internet gateway. So save changes. Submit association, edit, VPC2, save association. Route table, VPC3, routes, edit routes, add route, internet gateway, save changes. And we'll go to submit association, edit. So it's done. So now I'll go to transit gateways. You can see transit gateway. I have it's still pending. So it's now available. So now I have created transit gateway. I have to do the attachment to which VPC should communicate with each other. So I'll go to transit gateway attachments. So create transit gateway attachment. So transit gateway attachment. So I'll choose which transit gateway ID I want. I'll use transit gateway and VPC type. We are doing through VPC. We can do through VPC, VPN, peering connection, connect also. But now we are doing presently through VPC. Okay, again VPC ID. So VPC 1. So VPC 1, I'll create. Okay, I have created attachment for VPC 1 now. So this is VPC 1. Again, I'll go create attachment to transit gateway, attachment to VPC 2. I'll get transit gateway. As I told, attachment type. I'll choose now VPC 2. Come down, create transit gateway attachment. Again, I'll create a transit gateway attachment VPC to VPC 3, right? So I'll go create like transit gateway is already existing, and I'll choose the ID is VPC 3 and create transit gateway attachment. Now attachment is created, right? VPC. This is VPC attachment. Sorry, transit gateway attachment. This is for VPC 1 we have done, right? So now we'll go to route tables. We'll go to transit gateway route tables. So now you can see here. By default, I told if you create attachment, route tables will get created. So we'll go to route. Thing. See association. We have two associations here, and propagations also we can see, and routes. Routes also you can see 1.0.0, 2.0.0, and 3 it's getting attached. I guess it's getting some time. So associations we have done, attachments automatically, associations and propagations is done. So you can see now three VPCs, and associations also you can see 3, and routes also you can see 3 routes. It will show. See now you can see 3. Automatically it got. I didn't go create this transit gateway route tables, right? So like in route tables, I will give the route to all these transit. It wants to reach to the to like VPC A want to reach to B and C, and B want to reach to A, C, right? So like I'll give some nearest value to that. So I'll create like take like 10 dot 0 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16 and transit gateway. I'll save. Again, go to route table, go to VPC B, routes, edit routes, 10.0.0.0/60. So I'll go to VPC 3, routes, edit routes, add route. I'll take, say, and this is transit gateway, save associations. Okay. Now I'll go try to connect. So now VPC 1 is connected. I'll get into root user. Sudo su. Okay. Now I will install telnet. Telnet means it will remotely access, right? We are using why telnet to what is telnet? We discussed application layer protocols, right? What is telnet? Divit. Telnet is used for remotely accessing purpose, right? But it is not encrypted, and its port number is 23, right? So now I want to access anything remotely in a server, so we can use telnet. We have telnet and SSH. Why SSH is encrypted and its port number is 22, right? So now I'll try to install telnet. Yum install telnet -y. So now telnet has been installed. Now I'll try to connect to the like server 2, instance 2 or server 2. So I'll connect to VPC-B. I'll copy its public IP, or sorry, private IP. Paste. Okay, we're trying to establish connection. We can use public IP also. Okay, I'll use public IP or else, because we are just trying to establish a connection, right? So I'll copy, paste, 22. So it's connected. Like VPC A got connected to VPC B. Now this thing, see, escape character is SSH. It is got connected. Now this VPC A wanna connect to VPC C. I'll go to public IP instance. So VPC B. I'll try to connect. So it's connected. Now these are able to communicate. VPC A is able to communicate to B, and B is able to and A is able to communicate to C. So we'll go to same as VPC B. How they are able to communicate? Hmm? Is using transit gateways, right? So now I'm connecting to VPC B. So I'll get into sudo su, and I will install install telnet I tag I y sorry. Okay, now it's installed. Now I'll use telnet space. I'll try to connect to VPC VPC B. Okay, I'm already in B. Now I'll try to connect to A. 22. So it's connecting. So I'll try to connect to C. telnet paste 22 got connected. So this way we are establishing connections using transit gateways.